This morning, something happened that has sent shockwaves through the entire United Kingdom and beyond. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the disgraced member of the British royal family, was arrested at his current residence, Wood Farm, located on the King's Sandringham estate in Norfolk. The timing of the arrest is striking for several reasons, not least because it happened just after 8 in the morning on February 19th, a date that also marks his 66th birthday. It's hard to imagine a more uncomfortable way to start what should have been a quiet, private day. Wood Farm has been Andrew's temporary home since earlier this month, after what many have described as an eviction from his former residence, the sprawling 30-room Royal Lodge in Windsor. That move alone was a clear signal of just how far his standing within the royal family has fallen. Being pushed out of Royal Lodge and relocated to a much smaller, far less prestigious property on the Sandringham estate was widely interpreted as King Charles making a statement without having to say a word. And now, just weeks after settling into that new arrangement, Andrew finds himself in police custody, facing one of the most serious allegations a public official can face in the United Kingdom. Thames Valley Police confirmed the arrest in a statement released Thursday morning, though they did not name Andrew directly. That's in line with standard UK legal guidance, which generally avoids naming individuals who have been arrested but not yet charged. The statement was clear and to the point. It said that as part of an ongoing investigation, they had arrested a man in his 60s from Norfolk on suspicion of misconduct in public office. They also confirmed that searches were being carried out at addresses in both Berkshire and Norfolk, suggesting that this is not a small, localized inquiry, but something much broader and more coordinated. The police went on to stress that the man, still unnamed officially, remains in police custody, and that the case is now active under UK law. That last part is crucial. Once a case becomes active, the rules around what can be published or discussed publicly become much stricter. Media outlets, commentators, and even everyday people on social media have to be very careful not to say anything that could be considered contempt of court. That means speculation has to be dialed back, and only confirmed, publicly available facts can be reported responsibly. What we do know is that Andrew was taken from the Sandringham estate and transported to a police station for questioning. The seriousness of the situation is underscored by the charge being investigated: misconduct in public office. This is not a minor offense. In the UK, misconduct in public office is a common law offense that can carry a maximum sentence of life imprisonment if someone is found guilty. It applies to individuals who hold public positions of trust and who are accused of abusing that position in a way that amounts to a serious breach of duty. The fact that this charge is being examined in connection with Andrew is a major development, especially given the context of everything that has come before. Andrew's connection to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein has been a source of controversy, scandal, and public outrage for years now. But the situation intensified dramatically earlier this year, when the United States Department of Justice released a massive trove of documents relating to Epstein. We're talking about 3 million pages of files, emails, flight logs, photographs, and other materials that paint a deeply disturbing picture of Epstein's network and the people who were connected to him. Within those files, there were images and communications that directly involved Andrew. One particularly damaging photograph showed him on all fours above a young woman. Another set of images captured him enjoying a dinner at a restaurant alongside a model and actress identified as Ms. Muki, along with 2 other men. What made that dinner even more troubling was an email Andrew reportedly sent to Epstein afterward, in which he used a derogatory term to refer to the women present. These are not vague allegations or secondhand rumors. These are documented pieces of evidence that have now been made public and are being reviewed not just by journalists and the public, but by multiple police forces across the United Kingdom. It was reported earlier this week that at least 7 UK police forces are now actively examining evidence from the Epstein files as part of a coordinated nationwide investigation. Essex Police, for example, confirmed that they are reviewing flight logs and emails related to private flights into and out of Stansted Airport. Their statement, released late on Tuesday, made it clear that they are assessing information that has emerged following the publication of the U.S. Department of Justice Epstein files. That's significant because Stansted is one of the major private aviation hubs in the UK, and flight logs have long been a key piece of evidence in understanding who traveled where, when, and with whom in connection to Epstein's operations. Essex police are not working in isolation. At least 6 other police forces are involved in reviewing materials from the Epstein files. These include some of the most prominent forces in the country: the Metropolitan Police, Thames Valley Police, Surrey Police, Norfolk Constabulary, and Bedfordshire Police. The fact that so many agencies are collaborating suggests that this is being treated as a serious, wide-reaching investigation with potential for significant legal consequences. It also indicates that evidence within those files touches on multiple jurisdictions, multiple locations, and potentially multiple individuals. The timing of all of this is worth noting. Andrew's public troubles began years ago, but they reached a turning point after his disastrous interview with the BBC's Newsnight program in 2019. That interview, intended to clear his name and explain his relationship with Epstein, ended up doing the exact opposite. His explanations were widely criticized as unconvincing, tone-deaf, and at times bizarre. Public and media reaction was swift and overwhelmingly negative. Shortly afterward, he stepped back from all royal duties, lost his military titles and royal patronages, and was effectively sidelined from public life. Then came the civil lawsuit filed against him in the United States by Virginia Giuffre, who accused him of sexual assault when she was a teenager. Andrew has consistently and strenuously denied all allegations of wrongdoing. That case was eventually settled out of court in early 2022, with no admission of liability. But the reputational damage was done. The settlement was widely seen as an attempt to make the problem go away quietly, but it did nothing to restore his standing or his reputation. Now, with the release of the Epstein files and the launch of these police investigations, Andrew is facing a new and potentially far more dangerous chapter. Being arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office is not the same as being convicted. And it's important to remember that under UK law, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. But the fact that this arrest has happened at all, especially on such a high-profile figure, tells you how seriously the authorities are taking the allegations and the evidence that has emerged. Buckingham Palace has been placed in an incredibly difficult position. King Charles, who has worked hard since ascending the throne to project an image of a slimmed-down, modernized monarchy, is now dealing with a scandal involving his own brother that refuses to go away. Earlier this month, a palace spokesperson released a carefully worded statement on behalf of the king. It acknowledged the seriousness of the situation without directly condemning Andrew or prejudging the outcome of any investigation. The statement read that the king has made clear, both in words and through what were described as unprecedented actions, his profound concern at allegations which continue to come to light regarding Andrew's conduct. It went on to say that while the specific claims are for Andrew to address, if approached by Thames Valley Police, the palace stands ready to support them as you would expect. That last line is key. It signals cooperation, but it also creates distance. The palace is saying they will assist law enforcement if asked, but they are not stepping in to defend or protect Andrew from scrutiny. There was also a separate statement released on behalf of the Prince and Princess of Wales. It was brief but pointed. A spokesperson confirmed that William and Catherine have been deeply concerned by the continuing revelations and that their thoughts remain focused on the victims. That's a significant public positioning. By explicitly mentioning victims, they are drawing a clear line between themselves and Andrew, making it known that their sympathies lie with those who have been harmed, not with the accused. These statements are more than just words. They represent a strategic effort by the senior working royals to protect the institution of the monarchy from being dragged down further by Andrew's actions and associations. The fact that both King Charles and the Prince and Princess of Wales felt the need to issue public statements shows just how damaging the situation has become, and how important it is for them to be seen as taking it seriously. As it stands right now, Andrew remains in police custody. He is being questioned in connection with allegations of misconduct in public office, and searches have been carried out at properties linked to him in both Berkshire and Norfolk. Multiple police forces are involved in reviewing evidence from the Epstein files, and the case is now officially active, meaning strict legal protections are in place to ensure a fair process. What happens next is uncertain. If charges are eventually brought, this will become one of the most significant legal cases involving a member of the British royal family in modern history. If no charges are filed, the questions and cloud of suspicion are unlikely to disappear. Either way, the damage to Andrew's reputation, to his standing within the royal family and to the broader image of the monarchy is already severe and likely irreversible. For King Charles, this is yet another reminder that the past is a way of catching up and that modernizing the monarchy means confronting uncomfortable truths, even when they involve your own family. For the public, it's a moment that raises profound questions about privilege, accountability, and whether anyone, no matter how powerful or well-connected, is truly above the law. Right now, all we can do is wait and see how this investigation unfolds. But one thing is already clear. This is not going away quietly, and the consequences, whatever they may be,